Let's see. The PFN is listing Cam as one of the most likely playing here to be traded. Some fans think it would cause locker room issues, but I don't necessarily disagree with the trade depending on the return. Cam Heyward being traded. Who's PFN?
Pro Football Network. They're like another one. I know they do like some mock draft stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know like how big they are in the sense of this type of coverage, but I know they definitely do like mock draft stuff.
So they suggested Cam would be the most likely to be traded from the Steelers.
Funny thing, man, I've seen that as well, but it wasn't from PFN. It was another one of those like not beat reporters, but think of like the national media people that are more regional than national. It was like that type of vibe. But yeah, I did see Cam's name pop up there because it was like, do you potentially trade him or is he a potential like cut candidate or something like that? I was like, oh, like that's how the convo's going here with it. But I mean, suppose with the age and him obviously doing the gentle hold out / pull up for OTAs, kind of got some mixed messaging there. I mean,
the only way it makes sense to me is if we use his cap number for another position.
Right. I'm like, because I don't want the pick.
And right now, we don't need to use that cap number for anything else. I think it would be dependent on injury happening.
Yeah.
Like if something happens at another position on defense, I guess even offense, and we're like, okay, we feel good about Keanu Benton. We feel good about this defensive line. Obviously, these contract talks with Cam haven't been going well. He's been talking about maybe playing for another team next year. If we trade him, clear up that cap number, and use that number for whatever position we need. Again, depending on if someone goes down with injury in training camp, whatever it is, right? That's the only way I could see it making sense, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen and praying that doesn't happen, and we're not having these conversations.
Yeah, I'm like, he would have to, I would see it as like, he came into training camp and was like just heavy-handed, if you're not paying me, I'm not playing, but he's already said
that's
that he
another
is
thing. Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Now, I'm taking him for what he said. He said he's not going to do that, so I'm going to anticipate that he doesn't, and if he doesn't, then I don't see any reason why they would move on from him. But the same way we didn't think that he was going to come back to OTAs before it was like mandatory and he did that, we'll just see how everything plays out if these contract negotiations stay like how they are. Because if it got to that point where, you're dealing with some of the locker room stuff and you're asking it, is it worth the distraction? I think that's a different conversation. Right now, Cam hasn't been a distraction. And then when we thought it was about to become that, that's when he pulled up the OTAs and it kind of just nicked all that in the butt. So we'll see. But I want my dog here, man.
I don't think he needs to be traded.
Yeah, and he still produces outside of being injured last year.
Even if we do need to bring in another player, I think we have some cap space. We have some ways we can work around it without having to trade Cam to clear up the cap space.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I could see it making sense for us to trade him. Like one of our key players at a key position goes down, it's like, how are we going to replace him?
Because otherwise, we're going out there with Benton, Larry O, DeMarvin, Isaiah.
But you get like it's almost like if a Minka goes down in training camp, or like we need to pick up a corner, we need to like Pickens goes down or something, like we need a top receiver, like we need to use like that Cam money somewhere to replace a big time need. That's the only way I could see it making sense. That's it. But I'm praying that doesn't happen. Like, I don't want that to happen at all, obviously.
Yeah. That makes two of us, baby.
That would be devastating.
We don't need those problems in our life.
Yeah. And again, I don't even know if we would have to trade Cam. I'm sure Omar Khan can rework the numbers to where we could still keep him and
it's the
sign
con man for a reason,
key
baby.
player. Yeah, exactly.
And the con man I trust. That's what they say.